Thank you for
Mhm.
having me here. So my name is Cho-Nan Tsai. I'm the CEO and president of an AI consulting firm called Hyperionsoft. We offer custom AI solutions of all shapes and sizes. And a little bit of my background. I started my career at Fortune 200 companies. I was doing a lot of at that time we called it data consulting, and this is like in the early 2000s. And so I was at a lot of the headquarters of these Fortune 200 companies, and I kind of worked my way up, rose through the ranks, and eventually, I found myself working among startup founders. So roughly around 12 or 15 years ago, that's when I joined a startup, and that's kind of how I began, my journey as a startup CTO. So I was at least the founding team member of three startups in the past, and some of them got quite big and eventually got acquired. So during those times, it was very interesting for me to see how we were able to use technology to grow the revenues exponentially, right? And and also using AI and machine learning behind the scenes to really increase pace in a lot of different departments. For instance, marketing, sales, operation. It's all about efficiency and accountability, right? And tracking
Mhm.
everything that's moving among the systems. So that's kind of my background. And a couple of years ago, I decided to venture out on my own and started my own consulting firm, Hyperionsoft. So right now, I work with usually companies in fintech or in banking. They have some need, and so I often provide solutions at the intersection of AI and fintech, right? So we offer machine learning, we offer computer vision, we offer Gen AI, agentic AI, anything that will help improve efficiency and cut costs, improve revenue, we do it all.
That's wonderful. And my tech background is very corporate compared to yours. Although not the earlier part when you were consulting for the Fortune
Sure.
200.
Yeah.
I was at Prudential Securities and JP Morgan, investment banking technology, worked my way up to the CTO of a large pension fund and the COO. So I look at ops and tech very much like you. It's a data fabric, right? And it's like AI,
Mm-hmm.
cyber, data, all of it is
Yes.
and the governance of all of the above.
Mm-hmm.
And we build very interesting tech solutions at AlphaMille. We also do cyber. But what I really loved is your videos on rapid prototyping and using AI agents, because I think
Mm-hmm.
that right now, any startup you talk to, they really want to spend, like, they want to prototype in 2 weeks, right? Ultimately.
Yes.
That's the
Yes.
goal. That's the holy grail of technology right now, right? You want to get
Mm-hmm.
it out there and direct a lot of your dollars towards marketing your tech and doing the product to market fit, right? And all of this stuff. And what I saw you do with rapid prototyping and AI agent is like awesome. No, seriously, it's really
Thank you.
awesome.
Thank you.
So so that's why play us the first video, right? And then anything you can shed your light on
Yes.
in terms of like what is your philosophy, what is your thinking, how do you approach this, right? What is the newest cutting edge stuff? Because
Mm-hmm.
I feel like we're gonna enter into the phase where AI is gonna um, um, kind of take over, and a lot of developers, especially junior developers, are going to be
Mm-hmm.
replaced, frankly,
Yes.
right? We're
Yes.
going to, in the
Yes.
next 20 years or so, I feel like
Yes.
that cycle has already begun. So,
Yes.
yeah.
That sounds like a plan. Let's go through the use
Hmm.
cases, and I'll provide commentary along
Wonderful.
these
I cannot wait.
videos.
This is
So
so
let me share my screen, and that
Mhm.
way everybody can see what we're talking about.
Of course. And we will provide, by the way, we will include all of the YouTube links and
Yes, yes, of course.
mhm.
Okay, are you able to see
Yes, it's
the
perfect.
screen?
Yeah.
Okay, great. I'm gonna just make it a little bigger so everybody can see.
Yep.
Um, so what you're about to see is kind of the this demo video that I put together actually for a conference. So I'm gonna kind of go through one at a time, the
Sure.
major parts of this video.
Hmm.
And I'll just play a few seconds of these so you kind of get the gist, and then we can talk a bit more. So let me play away right now. So this is just, kind of just setting up the story.
The CFO is the last to know.
I know he'll be
We still need the budget for other purposes.
I
Yeah.
know he will not be sleep at night.
Exactly.
So so what you're looking at this is it's actually what we call text to video software. This is
Hmm.
actually a video that was generated by AI, and that type of software is called text to video. And as you can see, this is very interesting use case, especially for companies like I would say like marketing agency, or
Hmm.
companies that does a lot of lead gen. And what they want to do is be able to come up with interesting visual components, right, to their video material in order to put out on the internet or TV spots or whatever. So this type of software is actually very cool. And the way actually to set this up was is not hard at all, right? Like for me, I needed to maybe provide some seeding, right? Meaning like some basic image about, the look and feel of what I wanted, and
Right.
then maybe some prompt about what I wanted to see. So for this case, I want to like cyberpunk and futuristic. So you can see like what the AI was doing is like was generating all these images, right, from start to end, all the frames, and they were able to stitch them up in the video motion. And so that way it looks like, hey, there's some storytelling, right? And this is, by the
Hmm.
way, very basic thing that I've done. I didn't spend any time editing. There was no editing whatsoever. And it was just AI and doing it on its own. And this was kind of the opening scene to my rest of the demos that I'm about to show. Um,
So
but I just,
question for you, question for
yes,
you.
yeah.
So this could ultimately, as it gets like really, really good, right, at doing this,
Hmm.
and like the weird lettering that AI is putting in there, you know what I mean? Like the words being
Yeah,
misspelled a lot
yeah.
of times,
The
but
alien, the alien
right.
characters.
Exactly, right. So all of this stuff is going to get cleaned up, right, eventually.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
basically, instead of going and finding the footage, right, and buying the footage from iStock or whatever,
Hmm. Hmm.
then we can just say, okay, generate this custom for me, or
Yes.
maybe I generate something that I can give to an Emmy award-winning director and say,
Sure.
here's where I'm going. You don't have to read the tea leaves,
Sure.
because it's hard to explain, right, what you're going for. But if
Yeah.
you can give somebody an example, then maybe they can shoot it in real life, but do
Yeah.
it based on like a more clear instructions,
Yes. You're absolutely right,
right?
Julia. You're
Is
right.
that
You're right on the money. You know why? Because I went to another conference where I met one of the biggest names in visual effects, and he's like the guy behind a
Mhm.
lot of the Marvel Universe movies.
Yep, yep.
And there's it was actually an AI conference, and we were talking about this, right?
Mhm.
And he said, what we're seeing today out there, it's great for rapid prototyping. Even for things like these conceptual commercials, right? You want to kind of create something really quick to see if the concept works before you throw in like millions of dollars and do it like a giant production. And in
That's
fact, this is
right.
what's happening right now in the movie industry. A lot of the studios, they are downsizing, and it's unfortunate because some people will lose their jobs. But the thing is, efficiency has been gained with software like this, where they could improve the pace of innovation and creative production, for their
Mm-hmm.
movies and
Mm-hmm.
commercials. So it's great. In fact, I have a separate example I would love to show you. This done by somebody else, not by me, where somebody would t took the output of an AI and then actually making it almost, I would say Oscar grade quality,
Right.
for commercial. So maybe let me pull that up real quick.
Sure, absolutely. This is very interesting because I feel like marketing is really loving this. I mean, we do this for AlphaMille. We
Hmm.
put out this marketing kind of little quotes,
Yeah.
and the pictures for the quotes are AI generated. So you put a quote in.
Nice.
My 10-year-old does it. So no, she gets paid for
Awesome.
it. Yeah. But the bottom line is like instead of sitting there and searching for like an
Uh-huh.
that corresponds to a good like motivational inspirational quote,
Yeah.
you just put it
Yes.
in there. And so, then I say, "Oh, can you replace this was that?" And it's like just boom,
Uh-huh.
placed. And it's really
Yeah.
cool. And for if you're like many of us who we're busy with our day to day, but we also want to
Hmm.
produce something for LinkedIn every day, like it's an excellent solution. It's so quick.
Oh yeah, I know. It's gonna save so much time and
Saves
effort. I mean,
time. Yeah.
gone are the days where you hire people like this for, 100 bucks an hour or 200 bucks an hour just to create some special effect that lasts 30 seconds. So I have the screen up. Can you see?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Sharing is okay. So I'm gonna play this one real quick. So this is actually at uh, a local meetup where I was giving my talk on AI to an audience about 70, 80 people. It was
Mm-hmm.
really well attended, and this is actually a very tech-driven community where I live, and so they were able to give me a lot of good feedback, and they really loved this. So I want everybody to see it and play it right now.
I like the best ad ever. That's- and this is AI generated.
Yeah, it's 100% AI generated. And so
It
this is
looks
actually
real.
it looks
No?
really good. Yeah, it looks awesome. And the person that did this actually, I think he's out in somewhere in Northern Europe. Um,
Wow.
and this is the one of those what was this is not really edited ad, but this is kind of a concept. He was the guy that did this. He is a graphic artist, and what he did was he used AI to generate a lot of segments to this commercial, and
Mm-hmm.
then he kind of put them together. Obviously, he gave the editorial direction, like how he wanted this to flow, and I think there was some minor editing. There were like a couple of different software he had to use. Some of it was like great movie editing software, and he would just use it just to fix a lot of the issues, fix some of the issues that AI
Mm-hmm.
was having issues with, right? And so that way, when you put it together, he was able to summarize this thing um, very quickly, and he was saying he was able to do this within a day, literally within a day, like a full solid day versus weeks and weeks of,
That's
research, design,
insane.
editing, so it's a total game changer, right? And so I think we need to embrace what's coming and then move forward, because if you can be driving a car, why would you want to ride a horse? It's unless maybe it's for fun, but every day these days we're talking about efficiency.
Well, it feels very polished and it has a look and feel of your big brand,
Yes.
big sports brand, right? So
Yes.
if you watched it somewhere, you probably wouldn't even I mean, if you're an expert, right? If you're really like in this area and you're in
Hmm.
advertising, you in graphic
Yes.
design for this, right? Then
Yes.
you'll probably see immediately that, oh,
Yeah.
this is AI generated. But like for your regular person who's
They're
gonna
not gonna know.
patch the chips, while they're watching the commercial, like are the rest of us gonna know? Like if we're not professional? Probably not, right? We're gonna be like, oh,
Nah.
Adidas ad and
Yeah.
wow,
No. Yeah. They're not gonna tell. I mean, I could tell because I deal with this day in and day out.
right.
If you look closely enough, especially like around the eyes or around the fingers, that's where usually AI has issue. But I think this artist, he actually went in and fixed some of these things. He didn't say how much he fixed, but all he said was he was able to produce a high quality, high grade commercial fit for Super Bowl in matter of hours. So I think there must be something
This
there.
is
Otherwise,
insane. So you're saying that this is so behind it was the tech stack, is the text to video AI software, and then obviously he puts it into some kind of a video editing tool and edits
hmm.
out, some of the
Yes.
really some of the elements that will give away that it's AI,
Yeah.
like you
So
said.
I
Yeah.
yeah, these days I think there are some big players out there. They're doing really great work around image image generation and movie generation. I think to do something like this, you need both, right? So like for image generation, um, let's start with movie generation. Like Runway is like the number one name, I would say, in the space. They're great for making commercials and short indie films, at least from a conceptual point of view. Like you
Hmm.
can actually do it really, really fast. But if you don't want any of that, like for instance, you just want like, I don't know, say videos for training your employee,
Right.
you can use something called Synthesia. And that's a great software where you just type in the content or you copy and paste the content, and boom, out comes these videos where somebody's just kind of talking through, say, I don't know, like, some work safety training or whatever it is, right? Or some training that's fitting for your business. So you can do that relatively quickly without having
Spell it
to
for me.
spend too much
I'm
time.
not familiar with this one. Is it Synthesia?
Yeah,
Can you,
Synthesia.
yeah, Synthesia. Yeah, I'll synthesize it. Yeah. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
if you, let's say if you're running um, a company and you have customers buying your product and they constantly contact you and they say, oh, there's an error. I cannot log in. I cannot download that.
Mhm.
So basically you could use it, right, to create kind of um, customer support slash educational videos.
That's right. It's in fact, I think there are companies that already have done that, right? And if you go to Synthesia, I think there's a lot of use cases. They
Mhm.
have, gotten like customer or client testimonials, and some of the, they're using it. But they're not the only game in town. They are, a few others. They're doing really well in this place. The other one that I like and I use personally is called HeyGen, HeyGen.
Mhm.
That one is also great for generating similar videos. But the thing that I like about that is, the algorithm is actually more advanced. You can do things like face swapping, or you can actually be using like an avatar that's actually walking as if they're doing like a
Mhm.
live broadcast where they're walking down the street or whatever it is, uh rather than just kind of sitting statically in
Right.
in front of a desk or a chair. so
Yeah.
so that so that is like, it's something even more, it's a little bit more, right? When people see, oh, okay, this is something interesting and interesting to watch, and that's what you want to do. You want to capture people's attention.
100%. And there's another one I want to put out there. It's called Shuffle. So
Hmm.
we participated in their activation in New York. It's very interesting. They have really huge companies, well-known brands creating
Hmm.
videos,
Hmm.
using that platform.
Yeah.
So, okay, listen, this is enough for anyone who wants to market their company, in any way, shape, or form, right?
Hmm.
Um, that's enough to start. And of course, if you put it in
Sure.
Google, it's going to give you all the competitors. You know? So you can, right, you can check out a
Yeah.
lot of stuff. I mean, even with ChatGPT, you can do a lot if it's just images,
Sure.
you know.
Yes.
And it looks weird in a way. There's this
Hmm.
weirdness to these images that that is noticeable. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
It's not
Yes.
like an image that you would have in nature or an office or people. You know what I mean? It looks
Hmm.
very artificial and constructed,
Yeah.
but honestly, I think that even our aesthetics is going to change over time. I don't know, tell me if you agree with this or not, but I think we're going to get used to it. Like we're going to process it as normal at some point.
Normal. Yeah. Yeah. I think some people will see it. Some
Yeah,
people that work in the graphic space or whatever it is, they're
yeah,
sensitive to it. They'll pick it up, but most people are not. And I mean, believe it or not, like people these days consume a ton of content on TikTok. And a lot of TikTok content is actually AI generated and it's labeled, because they say you have to declare if you are
right,
uploading AI.
right.
And some of these videos, they have hundreds and thousands of views, AI generated. And I know of a company from South America.
Yeah.
They are kind of like a virtual model agency. They
Mm-hmm.
have they have these AI models they post on IG all the time, and they make a few thousand a month just by posting AI avatars like pretty girls, doing things on in front of camera. But it's all, computer graphics work done by AI.
Wow.
Yeah.
So this is really it's going to be all about like how many followers do you have, how big is the audience, right? Because
Yeah, they know the game. I mean, I'm sure they've been in social
they
media
know
for
they,
some
they
time.
know how they know
Yeah.
what people want to watch, what they're going to click on, and yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
psychology, like as long as you're pretty good with, knowing what
Yes.
sells, right? Then it's going to be
Yes.
easy to generate all of this stuff. Okay.
Yep.
So that's our case number one, marketing, right?
That's right. Let's
Okay.
move on to the next one.